sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And good morning to all our South Shore neighbors and beyond. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I am joined live and in studio by the one and only Sharon McNamara.
Good morning.
Good morning. And you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. And the two musketeers are here today.
Yes, we are.
What's a dynamic duo?
Dynamic. I like that. That's us, for sure.
What's a popular dynamic duo?
Oh, geez, I don't even know what's going right there because I don't have anything on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll have to think. Tim, are you in studio?
Yes, I am. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Well, who do you think, when you think of a dynamic duo, who comes to mind?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Thelma and Louise?
No, it's the classic.
Laverne and Shirley.
No, classic hero duo.
Hero duo.
Oh.
Batman
and
Robin. Oh, okay, we get that. Or
dynamic duo. Will the boy wonder save Batman this week? Tune in.
You know what else we could be is I think we talked about this before. We could be Three's Company. Are you guys too young for that?
Well, no, the three of us.
Yeah, the three of us.
Yeah,
the three of us.
So we're Three's Company.
Yeah,
Come and knock at my door.
Yeah.
That's so fitting.
Yes, because remember one time I told you, we had this conversation because one time I told you that our show got taken down on Facebook because we played that song. And it was like...
did we play too much of it? What are those rules?
I don't know. It's like some copyright
thing. The FCC has nothing better to do than to listen to Talk Real Estate Roundtable.
They should have their hands full, but they are listening to us. So thanks so much, everybody.
All right, well, if we play that tune, I guess we just have to play just enough of it that we don't get taken down there.
Wait, so I'm sorry. Where was it taken down from? From Facebook?
It was like Facebook, but like we got an email saying,
police are terrible.
The Facebook police.
Yeah.
We got an email and saying that like, oh, your show is taken down. So I, dug deep, and it was like a 2-year-old show. Like it was from like 2 years ago that they like finally got around to being like, yeah, you played like 5 seconds too long. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. Well, the government shut down right now, so we could just play it. It'll take them another 2 years to find it.
We're just gonna keep playing that song for the entire show.
Excuse me, Mrs. McNamara. I heard you play that Three's Company tune.
Yeah.
Did you create that?
I know. Well, we can come up with our own. And Tim, speaking of like thinking of music and everything, I hope you're like starting to think about your jingles because last year,
that time of year,
that was my like favorite time of the year is when you just like impromptu just came up with your own jingle. We're gonna have to find that and play that occasionally.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's in the system. If you really want to hear it, I can pull it up.
It's in my system too. I loved it. I absolutely.
And
loved
he
it.
made a jingle about the shower too. Remember? It was like
that is.
Is it the same jingle?
Yes.
Of
this one right here. Dashing to the shower.
Yes.
Not slipping on the floor. Shampooing my hair. Please close the door. How much time is left? Honey, start the car. I have to go and be a radio star.
Yeah.
Talk real estate every Saturday. Tune in to listen, and hey, you don't have to pay. Talk real estate every Saturday. Tune in to listen, and you don't have to pay.
Woo! Yay! Awesome. Now, did you just play that, or did you remember it?
Yeah, no, that's in the system. That's from the computer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like,
quick
wow.
with the fingers here on the keyboard.
Boy.
Wow.
I was like, yes. So you better start working on something for this year.
Yeah. And it all just stemmed from Sharon needed to take a shower before the radio show.
Yep, that's all it took. Yep.
Mark just be like, aren't you going to be late? Leave me alone.
I know. I need that morning shower, whether I
Yeah.
take one the night before or not. I just need that.
Mm.
It just sort of gets me going.
Yep.
Yeah. I was in there at 6:00 this morning.
Yeah.
Mark was snoring. Yeah. He has a cold or something. I think something's
Yeah.
going around.
It's a lot of allergies too.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. My face feels like it's on fire. Like my cheekbone.
yeah, what it is, right?
Well, I'm a lot older than you, obviously. I could be your mother. But it was like, oh, my face is hurting. And then the other person says, oh, it's killing me.
Yeah, it's killing me.
Was
just
that like in the
looking at it.
newspaper?
I know. Dad jokes. So, anyways, it was a good week.
Yeah.
Lots of good things going on. Last week's show I thought was really good. Got a lot of feedback on
Yeah.
that. And, people just understanding, maybe having a better understanding of exactly what we go through as agents and, giving some insight for sellers and buyers who are thinking about buying a house and just all the safety precautions. So if you didn't listen to last week's show, and of course we have all of our friends on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all the good places. If you didn't listen to last week's show, you can go on to is it up on the podcast?
Yep.
Talk Real Estate Roundtable. So you can find that on all the podcast apps, and or you could go to talkrealestateroundtable.com. I thought that it felt like every time we do something, we want to give something of value. We want to teach. We want to, help our listeners. But I think that last week's show is also look at what we have to go through.
Yeah.
And the things, and that's why I was talking to some people about who had mentioned the show. And it's like, I don't put on a uniform every morning. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? When you don't have to, if you're a police officer or a firefighter, like we give those guys so much creds because they have to walk into whatever whatever it is, military and all that. I'm just trying to sell a house, so leave me alone.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think that you're gonna wake up and have to call the police, but unfortunately, sometimes that happens. And I think that you handled it well.
Yeah.
Melissa handled it well. Mark handled it well.
The police handled it
The
well.
police handled it well. So we'll see.
And the other thing too, and again, we're aside, going back to last week, and it was just about safety and an issue that I had just to catch everybody up to speed. If you didn't hear last week's show, and somebody came in and they were rummaging through the dresser drawers of the ADU, right, of the in-law apartment. But when I went and did my open house last weekend, I announced it on the radio where I'm going to be every weekend, right? Our listeners call me all the time to come and look at their homes, right? So there is this level of trust that I have with, the general public and just showing up at their homes. But I did my open house over at the Meadows last week. And as we ended the show, I said, and you're not going to frighten me. Like, this is where I'm going to be. My job is to sell this house.
Yeah.
But I did a different type of sign-in sheet last week, and I had my computer up, and I asked everybody, because you can write Mickey Mouse, you know what I mean? Like, and people just write in fake names. And I sat there with people and made them sign in, and I said, right at the front page, it says, this information is not going to be used to market or solicit you. I really, chances are you have an agent. That's great. Keep your relationship with your agent. I'm not trying to interfere with that at all. And chances, like, I'm not following up with you. I'm just not, unless you tell me that you're interested in this house. Like, I'm just not that person. If you won't give me your email and your phone number, then that gives me hesitation.
Yeah.
When I'm 100% telling you I am not going to solicit to you. Right?
Yeah.
So there was a couple people that like, I really don't want to give you your phone number. And I was like, here's the thing. Again, I promise you I'm never going to use your information, but it makes me uneasy for you to think that you can't give me your real phone number right now.
Yeah.
So everybody signed in.
It's just a safety precaution for everybody. It's not just you. It's just, what if something happened? And then a couple shows ago, we talked about home inspections and things like that. And I actually thought about this after we did our safety show, is like, it's not just safety of like, oh, is someone acting strange or doing something strange? Or also safety is you're going into somebody's home that you're not familiar with. What if you don't know that the deck is falling off that back of the house, or the agent doesn't know that, and you go out there and there's a loose board or there's a loose stone or something and you trip and you fall, and like things like that happen. You're not familiar with, the little lip that goes down into the like a sunken living room or things like that like you just don't see.
Like that one time,
you just don't see. So it's also safety of if something happened, you want to be able to contact that person or somebody.
And your insurance company.
Yeah.
So risk and liability. So anyways, I really, I sort of enjoyed last week's show, but like I said, last week's show seemed more about us than it did about, the home buyers and home sellers. And I
Well, it's our
apologize for
show.
that, but yeah.
It's our show. We can do it.
Yeah, I thought it was important to do that.
Yeah.
But, it was interesting because I was talking to a couple people at the open house last week, and super, super sweet people. And, they said, it will make me more aware when I go into open houses now, not so much about who's around me, but to almost help the agent.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is something suspicious going on? You know what I mean? So, and I was like, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, we're live this morning, 781-837-4900. I know we had somebody text to Tim last week, and he sent us a message from somebody. If you have any questions, comments, concerns for us, please let us know. You can call us and talk to us. We'd love real estate. So it doesn't have to be about our topic today. It can be about any questions you have. 781-837-4900. Again, you can call that number, or you can text that number, or you can go onto any of our social media feeds, and Melissa is watching all of those. So if you have a question that way.
Yes.
Oh, one thing I want to say. I don't know if he's listening. He listens often. Chris Bethany.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I was watching the news this morning. And is his daughter's name Sophia?
Yes.
Sophia Bethany.
Oh, did she have? Did you see the billboard?
Yeah. I didn't see a billboard. What I saw was she was like it was on channel 4 or 5 maybe, and like a child spotlight from Duxbury High School, and she does karate, or if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. There's karate and there's other things I know,
Jiu-jitsu.
but it looked like karate to me. And they did a really, really nice highlight on her. And what a wonderful, wonderful family. If you don't know the Bethanys, they are wonderful people. Bethany Builders, they do a lot of ADUs. So definitely give them a call. We've had his wife on the phone, on the show with us, right? Because she is from Ukraine.
Yes.
So when Ukraine first went into war, we had her on here.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
They're lovely. And I know he watches pretty much every week, so he'll probably give us a little shout out. But
so
I saw
congratulations
something
to them, and what a great highlight that was on a great, great, wonderful family. And that's Bethany Builders. They do a great job. And one of the things that they said on there, sorry, I'm sidetracking, we should have him on with Sophia, right? We could do that. Is they are trying to right now, one of her goals, and she's in high school. I caught just the end of it, so I don't know what grade she's in or anything, but one of her goals is to be able to fully fund an ADU for a veteran.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know much more than that one sentence, but I know that they're going to be raising funds and doing things like that. So we will definitely help the Bethany family in their quest to do that and help veterans, because just this week we had Jessica Celia from Loan Depot was in our office. She offered to do a seminar for like a workshop for our agents on VA loans, and she impressed me.
Yes. You and I would say Trish Flynn are probably the hardest people. Trish Flynn is an agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She's part of the team Flynn with her husband, Nick, but
who's a veteran,
and she's come on the show reluctantly because she's a little nervous. But she's come on the show before. We've challenged her. And I would say that the two of you are probably the hardest to impress.
Yeah.
And you both were like, okay, she's good.
Yeah, I was just really impressed, because no matter what, and I wasn't trying to trip her up, but I know when I'm in front of a good presenter, it's a presenter that makes my mind think of questions.
That's how I felt too. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You asked some wonderful questions. You had some really, really good questions. So, so maybe we can get her involved in that whole thing. And again, if Chris Bethany, once he listens, maybe we'll just send him this, and he'll know that we need to get in touch with him. In fact, I can just text him as we're talking. Want to tell everybody what our show is about?
Yeah. So of course, everybody knows who listens to us every single week, because you guys are so great, that, we pull from real life experiences, what's going on in our business, whether it's the company or individual businesses, what's going on. And Sharon has shared, her daughter Mackenzie is looking for a home, and we've talked about home inspections and things like that. And we have done shows on the roles of a buyer's agent, the role of a seller's agent. Today we're going to be talking about, I called it two sides of the same transaction. So it's kind of like a story or something that happens. There's one side, there's another side, and then there's the truth somewhere in the middle. But we're calling it two sides of the same transaction, the role of a buyer's and a seller's agent. And you know what I should have done is I should have put we can talk about it, but in the agenda, I should have put like a whole section of like, what happens if things go wrong and you're not comfortable with your agent anymore? Where do you go? So we can sort of talk about that. Not stepping on anybody's toes, but there are organizations and things that the public can go to if they're having a hard time with an agent, or even agent to agent can go, whether it's talking to a manager or a broker of a company and things like that. So we could talk about that. But yeah, we wanted to sort of highlight really the roles of everything, and we kind of talked about it when Jessica Celia was here from Loan Depot talking about VA loans and loans, and we don't talk to our clients about loans because we're not loan officers.
Yeah.
And I
Stay
think
in our
Kristen,
lane. Well, why do I want somebody else's job to even think about? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just want to do my job and do it really well.
Well, sometimes you have to do more than one job, more
Well,
than
I
one
mean,
person's job.
our job is a lot of different
Yeah.
pieces. It's bringing all of those pieces together, but I want to introduce you to the best people that I know
Yeah.
and let them do their thing, right?
Well, what I was going to say was
I thought
Kristen.
you off track.
No,
Sorry.
no, Kristen Howlett, who is a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate as well. She joins us often on the show. That she said in the class, like, we stay in our lane. Like, we know our role. Our role is a buyer's agent. Our role is a listing agent. Our role is not to advise our clients about which loan program is best for them. So we like to know who the experts are where we are not an expert. So that's sort of a role that we take on of, okay, we know what we're responsible for, what we're great at, and sort of refer the rest. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
Oh, I
You're
was
like
listening.
looking like, and
No,
continue on.
No, well, I was intently listening, and I was reading our agenda too. So, and as you said, one of the things, whatever, sometimes our show, we'll say, oh, we're going to continue with home inspections, which is truly our intent to do that. But last week, something else came up. And then this week, I feel like something came up that I just thought it was really important, and was, going through this through the lens of Mackenzie, my own daughter, right, is really different. And you know what? And I went through that lens with you a couple of years ago, and it was different, but then it ended up getting a little weird because I was the listing agent. So, but what's different with Mackenzie is seeing it through the lens of another state. And how they do things in another state made me realize how great we do things in this state, because it's like the wild, wild west
Some
over there.
things like that happen there, or Florida, or anything, like they wouldn't fly here. Maybe it's our personality.
You know what? I asked Mackenzie that. So I was talking to Mackenzie last night. I stayed a little bit later last night, and I was changing my office around. Not that anyone cares about that, but I just had her on speakerphone. So I like to stay busy. I just can't just sit. And I was talking to her about her situation, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But I was just like, you know what? Well, this is what I think she should have done. Now I'm talking about her buyers. She's like, Mom, you just don't get it. Like, people are nicer here. Like, people are nicer here in Texas. And I do think that that's true. Probably down south, they seem nicer.
Well, I'm sure whatever it is that you were saying to Mackenzie, and I love her, but I'm sure it was not something like you weren't being rude.
I wasn't being aggressive, or maybe that's just my experience. I'm working with, a couple of different people in different, different agencies right now. And, I can see, newness in some of them, and trying to like reel it in and like slow it down and explain, no, this is how you should be doing this. Like sending me 15 text messages that I have to scroll through and doing. Like, I just, too many things get lost that way. So I think that it made me realize how organized we really are at the end of the day, like crossing our T's and dotting our I's. And, people can say whatever they want about me. Yeah, I am a certain way, but at least it's done my way.
Yeah.
Right. But it's, it's, and I don't say, most certainly I'm not an attorney, but like, I want to be able to back things up, or maybe I've seen so many things go wrong that I can understand what you should have. Right.
Yeah.
Mm. So with Mackenzie's situation, one of the things you know, well, here, you want to talk about agency a little bit first, and then we can get into some of that stuff. It's already 8:30. Well,
Uh, what? So a
just buyer
buyer,
agent,
buyer
yes,
agent.
in the fiduciary responsibility of a buyer's agent.
If you hire a buyer's agent and there's this mandatory form that you are, as an agent, required to show to your client, explain to your client or potential client, because at this point they're not your client. And it's a form that you check off. Either you're a buyer's agent, a seller's agent, a facilitator. It just depends on what your role is going to be. And a buyer, and if you're checking that off and you're being hired or you're hiring a buyer's agent, their fiduciary responsibility is to you. They might have other clients that their fiduciary responsibility. That's totally fine. The only time that got a little sticky is if they have multiple clients going for the same property.
Mhm.
But there's ways around that. Here at Boston Connect Real Estate, we all sort of work together. So,
Mhm.
there's been times where agents have called you and say, "Hey, I have two clients that are interested in the same property. Could you write up an offer for
Mhm.
one of them?"
Mhm.
So there's things like that, and Sharon can do that because she's the broker of the company.
Mhm.
But in the same with a listing agent. So the listing, you hire a listing agent and you check that box, and your fiduciary responsibility is to your seller.
Mhm.
So
Mainly to your seller.
and
So
solely
not
your seller.
everybody that works at Boston Connect.
Yeah.
And the best way when I'm explaining this, and again, if you are thinking about putting your house on the market, or if you are, thinking about buying a home, the first thing really does is there's a buyer consultation, the buyer's agent. We see that's this all day long, is our agents sitting down, conference room, going through the buying process with them. Land agency is an agency disclosure form, mandated form. It's a disclosure. It's not a contract. Every time I go to a house, the first thing I have to do when I meet somebody is, this is an agency disclosure. It is not a contract. In fact, at the end of this, you don't even have to sign it. So I just want you to, calm down. Like, you know what I mean? People are like, I'm not signing anything. No, you don't have to, but I, under the obligations of my state license as a broker, I have to explain it to you. And it should calm people down. But if somebody walks in your door and doesn't give you that state mandated form,
Yeah.
your red flag should be going up right there. Why are they not following law number one in the state of Massachusetts?
Well, what's your next thing that you say? Anything that you say that is personal, confidential, financial stays
Mm-hmm.
between us.
Yeah.
So if you're not having that conversation with somebody that walks through the door that you're interviewing, they could turn around and say whatever it is that you've said.
Yeah, if you list your house with somebody else, and that's a really good example is, I go into somebody's house and I say, anything that we talk about that's personal, confidential, or financial will always stay with me. And if you choose another agent, I 100% respect that decision, because you have to choose who's best for you. If I have a buyer for your home, if you don't sign the form,
Yeah.
anything that you're telling me that's personal, confidential, or financial, guess what? My
My obligation is to
is who my buyer, because I
Mhm.
have a contract with them, and they've signed that agency disclosure with me that I say
Yeah.
anything that they tell me that's personal, confidential, financial stays with me. But anything I find out about a house that they want, I have to tell them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you should always sign that and ask. Just ask. I always tell people, like, if I'm the first person that somebody's interviewing, I always say, again, you don't have to sign it. Some people choose not to. That is absolutely fine. You don't have to. There's a little check box down the end. I wish
Yeah.
the state changed it. People in that they want to sign it, because
Mhm.
I could just check that off, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's more for my protection than for their protection, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Because if the state ever came in and audited, we would have those. And I just think it's it's understandable, but just make sure the next person, if they don't give it to you, you don't even have to sign it, but you should certainly ask for it, and then just be careful what you say.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean that's sort of what the difference, the roles, your fiduciary responsibility is to have whoever hired you for that position, essentially.
Yes.
So, hiring a buyer's agent, I would say there is a process, and you just like, if you were listing a home, this is when you're purchasing a home. So go through interviews with agents and see who was a great fit.
And who is going to be the best fit. And I love, I've been doing a training in our office for our agents, and it's called Real Estate Principles and Fundamentals for Real Estate, for Success, right? So I'm going through the basics with the agent. So it's like a 10-week course. We're going to be working on business plans and everything next week. It's supposed to be an hour class. It ends up being 2 hours
Yeah.
with questions and everything else that we're going over. And I feel like everyone is enjoying it. And some of the conversations going on, I'm really loving, because like one of the things and we're learning from each other, which is really nice in sort of a small group setting. And like Kristen Howlett, again, full-time realtor here at Boston Connect, she mentioned, when she's meeting with people, she'll say, she says, that person might not be your jam either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if it is sort of a back and forth relationship, almost like an interview, right? When you go for a job interview, it's, do you like them as well? Do you really want to work for this company? And that's the same thing for us when we're working with clients, getting to know that person, because you're really going to be spending a lot of time, whether you're selling a house or buying a house, with that person to make sure that they're a good fit. And I was talking to Trish this week. So we had a little event at the office on Thursday night. So we got some Chinese food, and like I think we had a couple drinks, right? Um, and it's just so funny. Trish Flynn, she literally cracks me up. But she was here, and we were just chatting afterwards and everything. And as she was talking, I was like, people really don't understand how much people, like buyers, agents, put into their job.
Yeah.
Like we don't announce everything we're doing, but I just have to commend her and what a good, thorough agent she is, obviously with her husband, Nick, because she met somebody who's, wants to sell their house, but they want to find someplace first. They have a very particular area that they want to be in. And she ended up like, you know, writing letters to this whole neighborhood that they went to be in, and she was able to get an appointment beforehand. Like she wasn't lying about the appointment. Like she really had a buyer for it. And beware of those types of messages or letters that you're getting in the mail. Like, I have a buyer for your house. Chances are they're just looking for a listing, but if they can produce a buyer, that's great. She was able to do it. They put in an offer, but then the seller decided, you know what, I'm going to put it on the market. The seller ended up putting it on the market, getting about the same, but ended up paying compensation on both sides.
Yeah.
So didn't make as much money. But, just even talking to her in that process of writing letters and doing this and taking the time to like let her buyer client know, hey, I'm sending out this letter. What are your thoughts? Blah, blah, blah. A lot goes into it. And that's what I'm familiar with. And this is why this topic came up for me, is because I am not going to say Mackenzie's agent is certainly not lackadaisic. She isn't. I mean, anytime they want to see a house, she's there. Anytime they want to put an offer in, she's there. Any questions that I have, she answers.
Yeah.
She's very on top of things. But it's definitely in a I don't know, is it a slower approach? I don't know what it is.
Ooh, well, what are you explaining? What do you like? What makes it slower approach?
Yeah. So just putting in the offer. So this last one that she did, she put in an offer on this house, and she's trying to negotiate this offer with this other agent, but the other agent won't pick up the phone. She'll only text. That is 100% unacceptable.
Yeah.
You can't put together an offer via text only. You have to talk to the other agent.
Yeah.
You just have to. So I didn't know, like maybe there's a little bit of a language barrier. The other agent maybe feels more comfortable with a text, but like, could you start maybe doing email? So like there's a full email chain. I mean, text messages they're this long, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, what am I reading? What is this? What are you asking for? Like, I don't even know what you're asking for. And I'm the one to tell you what to ask for. Like, it's all getting lost. And then the approach of going back and forth. And I actually said at one point, do you think it's better for you to just reach out to the manager and just tell the manager, like, I really am trying to get, and this is what I mean, like, her agent is good. She is trying to reach out to this other agent and she's just not answering. But it isn't like that. It's like that follow through on that next step of maybe just call the broker or the manager of that office and say, hey,
Yeah.
can somebody help me here? Because like I need to.
Is that what you did?
No.
Oh.
When we got it under agreement, she did, and terms, whatever. And then Mark flew out to, the home inspection was Monday. So Mark flew out Sunday night. And he got there Sunday. He flew out Sunday morning and he got there Sunday afternoon. They had lunch and then they had an appointment at 5:00, to go through the house again. So Mark could see it for the first time and they could get in and out of the house and everything. And Mackenzie and her boyfriend wanted to show Mark the neighborhood and everything and where it was before their 5:00 appointment. So as they're driving through the neighborhood, the agent is having an open house.
Yeah. After she has an accepted offer.
There's an accepted offer on the property. So Mark, they went in. The agent didn't even recognize Mackenzie and Ethan from being there the week before, and putting in this offer and everything. And Mark was like, and Mackenzie was upset.
Yeah.
She's like, you know what? Like, my life savings is on the line here, and like, why are you having other people come in? And it almost felt like you're just trying to push me out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So Mark said, "Oh, do you have any offers on this house?" Well, obviously, Mark knows. This woman doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
And is it deceitful? No, he was being a dad. He wasn't being a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, you can put in an offer on this house if you want to." And Mark's like, "Do you have any offers on this house?" And she's like, "Well, we have one offer, but you can put an offer in if you want. Like, I can get you this house. I can get you this house. I can get you this
Yeah.
house." Like, kept on saying it to Mark. Now Mackenzie's hearing it. She's really upset. Like, she's just like, I can't even believe that this is happening. Now, the thing that's bothersome about that is when you're negotiating with people and when you're doing it for as long as I have, and I'm talking to people on the phone, I call BS as soon as I hear it. Like,
Yeah.
I can hear BS in people's tone, right? So this agent, Mackenzie's initial offer was one price, and the listing agent came back and said, "Oh, well, my client wants this amount." Now, maybe they had an understanding, like, "Hey, you can make decisions for me up until this amount," or something like that. But like the conversations, the timeline of the conversations, it was very clear that the listing agent wasn't going back to the
Yeah.
seller.
Yeah.
And this was one of the reasons why I wanted to have this show. That's the conversation I want to have. Your agent has to know their role and what they're responsible for, and they cannot make decisions for you. Even if a client says to me, "Sharon, I give you permission. My house is on the market for 600. I give you permission to look at offers up to this amount, 550. Let's just say I'm making up some stuff. I'm still not going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still, if I get an offer for 550, guess what? I'm still calling you. I know
Yeah.
you told me I could make that decision for you. No,
No, I don't want to.
you have to. So this agent to get Mackenzie to come up on her offer said, "We have two other offers on the table. We like your offer the best because of the terms and conditions," but didn't really use those words, "but we want more money." So Mackenzie felt obligated to go up. She didn't go up to the full amount that they asked for. She went up a few more thousand, and she got the offer. But now the Mackenzie's father is at the open house, and we had one offer there, and he's like, "So is it an accepted offer?" She's like, "Yeah, but we want backups."
Yeah.
Well, 2 days ago you told us that you had two other offers on the table.
Yeah.
So you lied.
Yeah.
You cannot lie to get a buyer to increase their price.
Yeah. You just can't.
No. That's it.
That's
Show's
it.
over.
Show's over. Goodbye.
Just dropped the mic.
No, you can't. You cannot be deceitful. Whether you're a buyer's agent, a seller's agent, a seller, or a buyer, you can't be deceitful because that will come out and it will come to light.
Didn't that girl's parents tell her, "You always get caught when you lie"?
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Always. I mean, look, I mean, gosh, all you have to do is go to one Coldplay concert and know that that theory
Yeah.
is true.
All you have to do is fly to Texas, show up unexpectedly in a neighborhood, and see that somebody had lied to you.
Yeah, I know. So, and then that was like the first part of it. So, and then, Mackenzie's agent got there at 5 o'clock for their appointment, and she could see how upset Mackenzie was. And she's doing a really good job trying to control the emotions of a first time home buyer. And, having the conversation with this other agent, like, she's like, why are you having an open house? Like, this is under contract. Like, we have, like, the home inspection is tomorrow. And she's like, well, you took so long to get me the escrow check. No, the truth of the matter is you took too long because you won't get on the phone
Yeah.
and you won't respond to get us the information on where that deposit was going. So it just ended up someone asking us.
No, well, Karen Monroe says, call her out.
See, there's the
Yeah.
maybe it's the Dorchester in me, Karen. Like that, I'm like, seriously, that's what I have to do, Karen. So that's my best friend, Karen Monroe, and she is now retired. So
Woo,
Karen, you and I
congratulations.
are going to Texas maybe next week, and we're going to be putting in an offer on some houses. I think I need. If you ever want to buy a car, the person to bring with you is Karen Monroe.
Really?
Oh,
Why?
I don't know how she does it. I don't. Every time
I'm
Kim,
gonna be calling you in a couple of years when I'm ready to upgrade.
Mary should maybe give her a call because every time Kim buys a car, she doesn't bring her husband Roy. She brings Karen.
Oh, Karen, yeah, clear your calendar. I'm thinking maybe like 2-3 years.
Yeah, she is a very good negotiator.
That's so funny. Yeah.
But and Karen, I'm actually very, very serious. So I might be giving you a buzz about us going to
I think that's a great idea.
yeah. But this is the thing is, the reason for this conversation and this topic is it is about agency. Like, what is the buyer's agent's role and what is the seller's agent's role? And of course they have different jobs, right? As a seller's agent, my job is to get my clients the most amount of money with the best terms and conditions for them. And as a buyer's agent, I'm supposed to get them the best negotiated price with the best terms and conditions for them, right? So, but as agents, we're supposed to be working together to come to that. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with the other agent. It's just about our clients and us trying to help them get together.
This might be a Clubhouse friend of yours, but Maria Wright Wilson.
Okay.
Listening from Northeast Mississippi.
Hello, Mississippi.
Great discussion. So, hello, Mississippi. That's why I say South Shore and beyond.
And beyond. And, here's the thing. I would love to know how things are in Mississippi because I bet you they're a lot nicer than we are here.
Maybe.
Like, and that's what Mackenzie's like, Mom, you're just like,
sharks.
We're sharks. Well, we're not even. Well, when I was talking to her agent, we had like a 3-way call going the other day, actually 4-way because Mark was on it as well. And I was like, listen, Christina, I'm just going to say it. Mackenzie's like, Mom, what are you going to say? Like, can you please think about what you're going to say before you say it?
Say it.
And I was like, I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm just saying, if you can't get, first of all, that listing doesn't belong to that listing agent. That listing belongs to the company.
Yeah.
So this story gets so much better.
Yeah.
Right. So anyways, I'm sure Maria thinks they're much nicer in Mississippi. And I believe that she's a broker owner too. I have to see her picture because we want to collaborate on some things together. But anyways, I'm sure they're much nicer in Mississippi. And we're just a little, and it's not that we're not nice. We're just like to the point and know what our rules are. Okay. So I'm going to fast forward. They have the home inspection. Some items come up. One is heat doesn't work.
Yeah.
Heat won't get over 62.
Heat doesn't work.
Tries to call the agent. She won't answer. Again, I have no idea why. So now it's all going through text. The text message says, the seller said that the tenant said the heat worked fine in the spring.
Okay, well, it didn't work now.
Seriously, can you make this crap up? Can you make it up?
No.
I mean,
trust me. No. I mean, I got a phone call yesterday at the office, and you just can't make it up. I tried to relay the message to you, and you just were looking at me like, what?
I was glazed over. Yeah, I was absolutely glazed over.
You just can't make some things up.
So okay, well, the heat was, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe those people like it chilly at 62 degrees, right? But we like heat, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that you need to have heat to be inhabitable in order to get a loan. So they're just requesting a couple of items. And one of them is
Mhm.
that they bring in their own HVAC person in order to have the heating system looked at. And if it needs to be repaired, that it will be repaired. Well, behold, they don't want to allow that to happen. They want to bring in their own person to fix it. Well, you can tell from the home inspection, and Mark was there. He can tell from certain ways that things were done, like that they probably did a lot of the stuff themselves, probably because it was a rental, that they did a lot of these things themselves. So we want a hired professional to look at, and it could be a neutral party. We really didn't care who it was. It just wasn't going to be the same person who installed any of this stuff because it wasn't installed properly. And they were refusing that. And at the same time of them refusing that, Mackenzie's timeline to have the home inspection and like to either get out of the contract or not was ticking. Time was ticking. She literally had 42 minutes left to make a decision. And I was like, Mackenzie, no. I was like, absolutely not. You're not
Yeah.
buying a house with no heat, like the heat not work, the furnace isn't working, and the AC
Yeah.
unit that's on the second floor is not installed properly. There's no intake vent, right, for air. So it's like overworking and the things are wrong, right?
Yeah.
You're not.
You're not on DSW's website where the coupon is about to expire
Mhm.
in about 5 minutes, and you have to decide if you're going to buy a pair of shoes that you can return if you don't like.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's what- I always feel under the gun, like, oh my gosh, I have to make a decision in 5 minutes if I want to buy this thing online. I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I can return it, it's fine, but
But
a
a house?
house,
Yeah, and that's the thing is, okay, now this agent who has been taking all this time is slowing it down, right? Like she's like, well, no, this is she was like sticking to her guns. Nope, the seller is saying this. There is no way that the seller is saying this. The seller wants to
yeah,
sell the house. Have you
yeah.
seen the market in Texas? The house has been on the market for 60 days.
Well, when I had
Why
the
do you
discussion,
think?
yeah, when I had the discussion with Mark when he came back, I was like, it seems like there's a lot of inventory. And he's
Yes.
like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so good for Mackenzie
Yeah.
because on to the next. But even when you and I were looking at like different, even like different price points and things
Mhm.
like that, of like, I just felt like there was a lot more on the market than here.
There is.
But Maria did respond. She goes, we are nice, dot, 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 until someone messes with our clients or our daughters. Yes, broker owner.
Yes, and that's the thing. See, like, and that's why, like, if I was Mackenzie was moving to Mississippi, then I would call her to, because there is this level of being nice, but don't let your kindness be taken as weakness. And that is exactly what's happening in this situation. This other agent is ruthless,
Yeah.
and maybe she's not familiar. That's why I want to get my. And I said, am I going to have to get my Texas real estate license? Like, how long does that take? Like, I really want to do
I
it.
think longer than
It is a
Massachusetts.
lot longer than Massachusetts, but I still think I could do it. I mean, how different could it be? They don't have basements. It's one less chapter I have to worry about, right? So I'm going to fast forward because I don't even know if you know this part of the story. So this agent is given 42 minutes left, right? To make this big decision, right? Of like, do you buy the house? And they were willing to give like $2,000 for everything. One of the other things were there's like a huge hornet's nest, like underground.
Underground, yeah.
So Mark couldn't go near it, obviously, because he's allergic to bees. So her agent was like, "Well, we want the bees taken care of. Like it's an issue."
Yeah.
And the agent's response was, "They already took care of those." She's like, "When?" And
Are they
because
just in the process of packing their bags
yeah,
and they called the movers? Like, they're
well,
still there.
they were there yesterday.
Yeah.
They didn't take care of them. You can't just give answers that are false.
Yeah.
So like that makes me really leery about my daughter buying a house out there because this is the second agent that I've encountered in Texas that has actually acted that way. Because I called one time, Mackenzie couldn't, something was happening. I called this other agent and I was like, hey, were you told this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, well, I have to see what her contract is with her agent, if she has a buyer agency agreement with her. If not, can I write the offer with you? And he's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I was like, all right, any other offers or anything on the table that I have to be considering? Nope, everything's great. As soon as I was like, oh, well, Mackenzie is in a buyer's agent agreement with this agent, she has to stay in it. So she's going to be writing up the offer with this other person. Oh, suddenly there's an offer on the table.
Yeah.
Suddenly Mackenzie's offer is no longer accepted. And all the terms and conditions were already agreed upon. We just had to put it on paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your buyer's agent should be working for you. Karen Monroe is a very, very good example. She will she'll tell you about Mama Bear when Mama Bear comes out for her clients because of something when she bought her house. Remember when she bought her
Yeah.
house in Abington and there was something with the chimney the way it
Chimney,
was, and
yeah.
there was carbon monoxide,
Yeah.
like could easily get into the house. I was like, you are not buying this house. I don't care how much you like it until that is fixed.
Yeah.
No way. So you have to be for your client, but you can't lie for your client.
No.
Fast forward, Mackenzie still wants the house. We still think it's a great deal. We came together, thought about different ways of writing up the offer, a little different, but less money.
Yeah.
Now we're going back with less money and just no home inspection, obviously, because we already had it. And less money will take care of the repairs because we don't trust that they will do it. So it's a lot like the offer. So her agent, I think that you should send the offer via email with the agent, but CC the manager. Well, she sent a letter just to the manager. Not last night, but the night before.
Yeah.
What was that? Thursday night. Last night, Mackenzie called me. It was 5:00 our time and it was 4:00 their time. And she read me the letter. It was a great letter. Like my client is a first-time home buyer, has zero confidence in, what's going on here with the agent. We would like to go through you. These are, the terms and conditions. Please see the attached offer. But the manager never responded to the email.
Never.
So Mackenzie's like, Mom, does that seem normal? Like, as the broker owner of a company, would you never respond to something like that? I go, here's the thing, Nens. There's a lot of email that goes through my mailbox. I'm doing my best to try to keep up with cleaning it up, but it's almost like shoveling sand against the tide.
Yeah.
Right? But I said, certainly if I didn't see it, Melissa would have.
Yeah. I mean, you have a second set of that. Hey, did
Yeah.
you see so-and-so's email?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so still no response.
still no response.
So that's why Karen and I might be going to Texas to buy a piece of house, buy a piece of
Piece of house. Hopefully it's the whole thing.
Yeah, buy the whole thing. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
It's crazy.
gosh. Yeah.
So, anyways, that's what brought us and prompted us to this situation is when you are like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
When you're buying a house, when you're selling a house, it's a big deal. I want to let you know that I really truly believe that this house has been on the market for over 60 days because of the agent. Period. Amen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Seeing how this agent is responding, seeing how this agent is just giving answers without even it appears that she's not even asking the seller.
Yeah.
Because when they have 42 minutes left, I said, Mackenzie, here's the thing. And I said to Christina, two things. One, put the documents if you don't respond to this, also see attached release.
Yeah.
Because now you're getting them both at the same time. The choice is yours. Either you do what we're asking or we're releasing ourselves from this contract so we can get our deposit money back.
Yeah.
As soon as that happened, the other agent was like, oh, no, 24 hours. All right, then fine, we're out.
Yeah. Bye.
So have fun doing your open house this weekend.
But she ended up walking away.
She ended up going away.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, Thursday night, they submitted another offer that was different, has gone, so you need to but
Oh, she put another offer.
so we know what the problems are, but my offer is going to be a lot less.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Oh, and no response.
And no response from the manager.
Yeah.
Well, again, here's what I also said. I said, this is where Mackenzie's like, Mom, we're just nicer down here. I go, well, did your agent call like at 12 o'clock when she didn't get a response from an email she sent at 5 o'clock the night before at 12 p.m. On a Friday, why didn't she just call the manager of the office and say, I just wanted to make sure that you got the offer?
Yeah.
I'm sort of ranting right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't why didn't that happen?
Don't know.
Because sometimes we're like, okay, we haven't heard a response. Should we follow up again? It's like,
I know.
Yeah, but, you're advising for your client.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
oh yeah, Sharon was my mom bear.
I was because she is my best friend. Her and Kim, my best friends. Okay,
We're the three best friends
Yeah.
anyone could have. You know the song?
No.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yes. We are.
Yeah, we only have about 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I know. So I guess, just to highlight what today is, I mean, we've talked about agencies so many times in our office, and, buyer agency, the buyer, you, if you are buying a home, you deserve to have somebody who is working for you. That's what they get paid for. You want to see a home, they should be there. Yeah, here's the other thing. Many a times I've had situations where offers are being put in on properties where the agent hasn't even seen the house.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't make it as the buyer's agent because you're doing your own open house, guess what?
Yeah.
You pick up the phone and you say, "Hey, Sally, I'm really sorry that I can't make it to the open house today because I'm doing my own, but my client will be stopping by. Are you okay with that? Great. Is there anything in particular you'd like to tell me about the house? Okay, great. I'll make sure to relay that to my
And if
buyer."
they said no, that would be wild. It's like you're having an open
I
house.
know.
But we do, Jennifer Goodman, is she someone
Oh,
from?
yes.
Yeah.
I
So
love Jennifer
Living in
Goodman.
Austin Realtor says that agent lying about multiple offers would get a call to the broker in a heartbeat. Hosting the open house without informing people that the house was already under contract. Big no.
Yeah. So Jennifer is great, by the way. And if Mackenzie was living in her area, then I would have asked Jennifer to represent my daughter because I know that she would be in good hands. Yeah, I agree. And Jennifer, I had said this again. She's one of my friends from Clubhouse as well. And I said this, why do things seem just different in Dallas?
Yeah. I will say that there are a couple of scenarios that happen where open houses do occur when there is an accepted offer. So there might be a term in the offer where there's, a 48-hour kickout clause or something where they are looking for another buyer that doesn't have maybe a home sale contingency or something. Also, if say the seller accepted an offer at Friday at 6:00 at night, but the open house was Saturday at 10:00 in the morning. Sometimes that's too
sometimes
tight
it's
of a
timing.
turn. Yeah,
and it's already out
too
there.
tight of a turnaround. But as long as you're honest with people walking through the door of being like, hey, we didn't accept an offer late last night, but
Here's the reason.
here's the reason, and we are going to continue.
You
on with
always
the open
have to
house,
be
so.
honest. Yeah, I mean, even with my house on the Meadows, like we had verbally accepted an offer. I didn't have everything in hand. I didn't have the check in hand, and it was people were calling me, asking me, agents were calling. I was like, I just want to let you know,
Yeah.
we have a verbally accepted offer, but they are going to have an inspection, blah, blah, blah. If you'd like to still see it, you can. But if you want me to get in touch with you afterwards, we can do that. But, now I'm thinking I should actually, because Jennifer, like Texas is a big state, but if you're licensed in Texas, you can probably put an offer in on Dallas. I should just call Jennifer and ask her to write that offer for me, for Mackenzie, but write it through me. Like as my name, as if I was the buyer. Maybe I buy it and then let Mackenzie buy it from me.
Maybe. That's how
I
I lost out on some things when I was buying. But
I don't want Mackenzie to, her agent has done a good job, so I certainly don't want to just push her aside for nothing. So you know what I mean, and not let her get paid something. She should get compensated, certainly.
Yeah.
One of the other things, and we only have 2 minutes left, but I also want to make it sure everybody, as a reminder, October 15th is coming up. That is next Wednesday. That is when the new home inspection law comes into effect in Massachusetts. So again, this is a law. This isn't one of NAR's regulations because you're part of their association. So those things I tend not to worry about as much, but anything that is a state law and a requirement, of course, we are abiding by. So that starts next week. Open houses, you can go to our...
Yeah, you can follow us on social media, Boston Connect Real Estate on Instagram and on Facebook. You can go to bostonconnect.com to find all of our contact information. Any past shows you want to listen to, talkrealestateroundtable.com or Talk Real Estate Roundtable in your podcast app. And we'll be back next Saturday.
Yes, we will. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Beautiful day for